So brassicas are probably the most important year-round crop in the UK, and I grow a lot of brassicas. We really like brassicas. The varieties of brassicas, there's so many different ones. In this video I thought I'd talk about when to start sowing your brassicas and when to plant them out and when you can kind of expect a harvest. And I really want to focus on overwintering brassicas and brassicas that are sown nice and early, and then kind of main crop brassicas that you might be starting in spring, rather than the summer ones, because I think that deserves a separate video and summer's a long time away. So I thought I'd start by just taking you around my current kind of selection of overwintered brassicas and early brassicas. I'll show you how they've progressed, then I'll show you where I'm going to plant them, then I'll talk about how I'm going to grow them on, and then I'll talk about when I'm expecting to harvest them. And hopefully you'll see that we'll get a nice kind of continuous supply of brassicas through the year. So let's get on. Start with the things that we grow outside, and pretty much that is just green cabbages, spring cabbages, lots of different varieties, and I grow them underneath mesh because the pigeons are just going to eat them if I don't. I don't do too many of them because I prefer early Brussels sprouts and kale to cabbages just because of the continuous harvest. I have plenty of kale outside that is going to seed, but I have this late planting which I put in, I sowed early August, planted out sometime sort of late September I think, and this isn't going to seed yet, and so this will kind of be my late harvest of kale, and there's enough here just to keep us going until about the end of April. And under this little low tunnel, which is currently full of spinach, these early kale plants and those, and they'll really love it underneath that little low tunnel for a few months, and they will be ready about May, late April, early May time, just when those other kales are finishing. And by about April, that's the time I'll protect them with this little cover. I really love Brussels sprout leaves. They're absolutely amazing, and they're really incredibly healthy as well. And so I've got two batches of early Brussels sprout plants. So the first one was sown 2nd of October and overwintered in the mini greenhouse, just in these pots. And the second batch was done 1st of January. And there's not much difference between the two of them, to be honest, but I think that these will start to mature with Brussels sprouts a little bit earlier than those, so they should give me a little bit of a succession. And the thing about Brussels sprouts that start to mature in July time is that they're huge, like little cabbages, absolutely incredible. And you kind of bring them on by taking off the sprout top and obviously eating that because it's absolutely gorgeous, but also just eating the leaves. So the leaves should start to be ready about late April, early May time, and then you just take like one leaf off each plant each week, that sort of volume. But I've got quite a few plants in here because I've got multiple plants in some of here and some of these, so I think I've got about 30 plants or something, and that is enough for 30 leaves a week, which is plenty for us. So yeah, fantastic. And then all the way through July and into early August we'll be in Brussels sprouts and sprout tops, and then I take these plants out and put something like lettuce in. Brussels sprouts are going in here, and that cover has just come off this bed, and this cold frame top's just gone on it. And in here we've got some Asian greens, which are also great brassicas, and we've been eating those for the last few months. Now, next up are the cauliflowers, and we've already got a bed with cauliflowers in it, first succession, and that's growing on really nicely, and that should be ready about sort of late April, early May time, and then this batch should be ready sort of mid to late May, and then I've got another few successions still coming on. Got red cabbages, again they should be ready sometime in May, and I've got quite a few of those growing outside under fleece, and so these are interplanted with lamb's lettuce, and down the end there, that's where the last few red cabbages are going to go. Got 2 successions of Calabrese, and again these were started sort of back in October time, and they've overwintered, and again they're looking really good. There's 2 successions there, and there's one already planted out. The one that's planted out should be coming ready early May, and then sort of mid-May, and then late May, and then obviously we'll have the ones that we sowed in March. So here's that first succession of Calabrese growing really nicely, interplanted with radishes, and there's the first succession of cauliflowers, again growing really nicely, and under this deep cold frame. And I'll find the space for these Calabrese and cauliflowers by interplanting into beds like this spinach bed or this spinach bed. You don't really, you only need to take 4 spinach plants out of each bed in order to start the cauliflowers and the Calabrese. And for the longest time really, they don't get in each other's way until really the spinach is finished, which will be a few months time, by which time the cauliflowers and Calabrese will be pretty big and needing the space. So because I've got all those overwintered and early plantings, I'm in no rush to do my main crops. So I tend to start my main crops, Calabrese, cauliflowers, kales and things like that, cabbages and things like that, in the middle of March, and plant them out in early May. While I'm waiting for those March plantings, I will just do a few of everything. So like 3 little red cabbages, 3 little graffiti purple cauliflowers, a handful of Calabrese, 2 or 3 spring cabbages. The vast majority of my main crop sowings will be done middle of March. Just quickly bring you back to those early Brussels sprout plants. So that batch there are breast, and this batch here are fill basket, and these have got 2 seedlings per station, and those have got mainly 1. And yeah, so the logic here for this insane planting density is I want a leaf crop, and these will just give me the most incredible, tasty, succulent Brussels sprout leaf crop. And if you don't believe me when I talk about how great Brussels sprout leaves are, I suspect that some people who followed my planting advice in previous years will comment in to the effect that they like them just as much as me. And as I say, don't forget that you get this incredible bonus crop of sprout tops, and of course the more plants you get, the more sprout tops you get, and a bonus harvest of Brussels sprouts in summer. It's pretty good. So if you want more details about growing brassicas, I recommend taking a look in the individual growing guides section of my ebook, and there you'll find guides to all of the brassicas that we grow, cauliflowers, Calabrese, purple sprouting broccoli, cabbages, kales, colettes or Brussels sprouts and all of that sort of thing, because each one of them has its own unique kind of characteristics and planting times and growing techniques and harvesting techniques and all of that sort of thing. Too much to go through in this short video. So anyway, I hope you like this quick video. My name's Steve, this is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.